And we're back. Before we go any farther today, I would like to say many of you are viewing me on a social media platform. Okay. What Mr. Adele has allowed me to do, and many of the hosts, is to broadcast from home. I have been blessed and highly favored to have a very large Facebook following. Also, we have Facebook on as well as YouTube, and I want to welcome LinkedIn. Those individuals from LinkedIn who follow my page now have an opportunity to see my platform other than some comments, my little quotes I make to let them know that there is another side of me. I think a little bit more serious side. And so I want to welcome those individuals that are viewing this show via LinkedIn. I happened to take a look when I was during the break and saw the number of views on each of these segments that has probably tripled. And I'm just, like I said, very, very honored. This is radio. This is obviously video, but you don't get an opportunity to really see, for people to take these types of forums seriously. You have so many things competing. You're competing with TV, Netflix, et cetera, et cetera. To give radio an opportunity to come into your home in this capacity. And when we were going through the pandemic, we were forced to have to do studios in our home. So with the platform of StreamYard, I was able to integrate not only Facebook, but as also YouTube, as now especially LinkedIn. So I'm very, very honored by that. For those of you who do not understand this format, it's a call-in show. Sometimes I talk too much, probably 90% of the time. And we do allow people to call in, but I also take comments from our audience in viral land, which is Facebook, YouTube, as well as LinkedIn. So I don't want you to feel that we're alienating you. No, we know what you're saying. I see it. And from time to time, I'll state, well, we know we got somebody else coming up, whatever. For those individuals, now let me just say this, okay? Please, thank you, Lance. I will be doing Single and Satisfied. What I want you to know is this. It took me a minute to kind of get all of this going. Far as me flying back and forth with the court night, I'm there from, a couple days from Tuesday through Thursday, trying to get back, get acclimated to doing my practice, and then getting acclimated. I finally got it. I'm back in sync. Because I wanted to do this so badly, I have eliminated many things in my life. I don't really go anywhere because I need my rest in between so that I'm able to be fresh and energetic doing this. And you can't hop on and off planes, do radio, do Single and Satisfied, and and live a traditional life. You just can't do that. So this has brought me so much pleasure doing Vondas Court Unfiltered on 910 Superstation, as well as doing the Single and Satisfied segment that I do at night. For those of you who do not know, it's basically about ladies. I do have men call in, et cetera, so that they can listen and we give a comments, and there's a lot of dialogue going on. So if you haven't listened, I want you to listen. Anyway, but my point being to you is that we're back on track and I found balance. Thank you, Lance. I was like, what? Listen, I'm amazed at what these people are doing, flying back and forth, going from, Steve Harvey, you on the radio, then you in New York, then you in California, 3 and 4. Listen, my hat is off to them because it's a lot of work. It sounds glamorous. I thought it was like, oh, this is so glamorous. It's a lot of hard work. So I found balance. I feel good. I'm ready for it, and we'll do it. Okay, very good. So let's get back to these callers. We got Dale on the line. Dale. Dale.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Dale.
You had a caller about 4 callers back that was basically trying to justify his reasons for voting for the previous president. And one thing that kind of stuck out too is that he tried to emphasize the alleged reality that he's a minority. He didn't state what group he represented, but he stated that he was a minority, and I felt that that was a device that he used to give cover to his justification. That, well, if a minority person felt this way, well, then this president couldn't be all bad, you know. And the thing is that.
But wait, may I? I'm gonna stop you, Dale. How many? Let's go there, Dale. Segments of the Hispanic community, of the Asian community, of the Black community voted for Donald Trump based on their economics. You know the majority, and I'm going to look it up, the number of Hispanic American people that voted for Donald Trump when he talking about building a wall to keep immigrants out was resoundingly high. How do you justify that?
Yes.
What do you think about that, Dale?
I would say that, especially in regards to the Latino community is concerned, that part of their culture, a segment of it, reveres and respects what they consider a strong individual or a strong man. You look at Central South America, and you see regimes ran by dictators, you know, and there's a part of the culture that admires that machismo, if you will, you know, and that as far as the Asians and the fall to that category, probably with the exception of Native Americans, they have a superiority issue as well. You know, you look at how Asians have consistently, from an educational standpoint, kind of raised the bar. Well, look at it this way. When you have people from the Asia Pacific countries coming to the United States to be students here, we're not getting the worst students that come out of those countries. And in most cases, we're getting the best. And when you look at the Asian Americans that are second or third generation Americans here, and you look at the number of Asian-owned businesses, you always see them hiring their kids, working in the business, their kids doing homework off to the side while the parents are running the business. And it's those monies, especially the monies that come out of inner city communities, that feed that family, but it also pays for their education as well. And you got people wondering, well, why can't Black people pull their bootstraps, pull themselves up by their bootstraps, not knowing that they have economic support from other members of the family and even from families overseas. The same thing could be said about Indian Americans from India that are either first or second generation Americans here. In 1965, there was a law that was passed that opened the floodgates that allowed highly technical skilled Indian people from India to come over here and fill jobs that couldn't be filled fast enough by corporate America. But there was also a provision that allowed them to bring their relatives over as well. So you get a doctor coming from India, he gets his license here, he builds a successful practice, if he could bring his whole family, who may not necessarily be as technically adept, over to the United States, then what does he do? He puts them in business. He puts them in hotels. There are so many hotels here that are owned by people with the last name of Patel nationwide. It's not even funny, you know. And those hotels, they have living quarters for members of that family to live in while they're operating that motel. Okay, it goes on all over this country. I mean,
But check this out. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. When we talk about Title 42, remember when people wanted to seek asylum, and it basically was dealing with Mexicans, immigrants that wanted to come over here? I'm reading an article that says by Axios, Axios, that said of the 1,081 people surveyed, 51% said that they Latinos approved that measure limiting asylum from people from Mexico coming over here. How do you explain that? We'll be back. The Latinos supported that. They supported the asylum, which is Title 42. How do you explain that? We'll be back, and I want you to answer that question when we get back.